Okay, we're going to try this again. First of all, welcome. I hope you're having a great day. We are live, and I'm going to give you some secrets. So if you have negative items on your credit report, then you definitely want to pay attention because I'm going to give you by far the fastest, literally the fastest method for removing them from your credit report, okay? And I've put it into a very, very, very simple 4-step process. Now, my question to you is this, and I also have to change some settings because we're live. So my question to you is this: if there were some super simple way to remove negative items from your credit report, number one, why would there be 48 to 68 million people with bad credit? And number two, why wouldn't that person who created that process have a luncheon with the president? Why wouldn't they be celebrated on Ellen? Why wouldn't you know about them? And why would you have found that process right here on YouTube? And the answer to that is because there is no overnight process. There is no miracle. There is no none of that stuff. But what there is a way to legally and permanently remove your negative items from your credit report. And today, I'm going to be giving you one of those secrets, okay? Now, while I fix my settings over here, this is also what I woke up to today. So all this white outside, that's snow. So we have to do a little bit of plowing in about an hour or so. And my clients who come here and meet with me, they can't even walk up that little path that I have here. So definitely have to go outside and work a little bit. But this process will work for you for collections, charge-offs, repos, late payments, inquiries. Sorry, let me take inquiries back because we're talking about BOD today. It's also going to work for bankruptcies, judgments, tax liens, short sales, foreclosures, pretty much as long as it is not child support, which you should not be disputing anyways, or an inquiry, because we don't get the notice of dispute on an inquiry, then you can utilize this process to remove these accounts from your credit report. Now, this is going to be very simple, but I need for you to go and either grab a pen or have the intention of coming back here, and I'm changing my settings over here, and watching this during the replay, because I promise you that you are going to take away from this what you are going to need to change everything, okay? So first of all, I want for you to smash that like. Let me know that you are here. I also have a couple of things that are very, very important that are going to be towards the end, so you can't just stay for one part of this, all right? Okay, we are almost ready, and we're going to get started. So the very first thing that you need to understand is that just because there is the existence of a law, it doesn't mean that that law is going to be enforced, right? The credit bureaus basically take these federal laws and regulations as guidelines, right? So they don't care about your threats. They don't care about, really anything unless they are forced to do something because of a specific violation or a USC code or, privacy laws. Those are the things that they care about, right? And those are the things that they get sued over. So I was actually on a call earlier today where someone said that they're using just, the method of verification to remove the bankruptcy. And I'm like, hey, you know what? That's not going to work. But when it doesn't work, because what you've been doing for 12 months hasn't worked, then I'm going to be here when you want to come and get it done the right way, because there's a very specific process. Stop believing people when they say that all you have to do is X, Y, Z at one time and it's going to come off. No, it doesn't work like that. I wish it did, because it would make my job so much easier. I wouldn't have to have 1,142 videos breaking it down and showing you the exact way to remove negative items from your credit report, right? Right. Okay. But unfortunately, this is the day and age where it's just getting more and more and more difficult to remove these things. And if you're not doing it the right way, then look, you're not going to remove them from your credit report. You're going to send out these worthless letters that are just going to come back as verified, 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 verified. Like, how many times do you have to see verified before you say, wait, I'm going to stop, I'm going to do this the right way, or I'm going to take a little bit of time, invest into learning how to do this the right way, and then at that time, I'm going to dispute? Well, right now, you should be doing exactly that. Halting your process, learning the right way to do it, because it's not going to the CFPB before you ever dispute with the bureaus. It's not sending out some template that has nothing to do with the things that you're actually disputing. It's not disputing online and expecting that you're going to get different results than the other people who also disputed online and didn't get, results, okay? So today we are talking about one of the fastest ways to remove any account, again, any account, collection charges, late payments, whatever, from your credit report. And I don't care if it's a closed account. I don't care if it's just got one 30-day late payment on it. You can utilize this. So my settings are now correct. Yes, it does take a little bit more time when we are live, so I apologize about that, but hey, what are you going to do? I need to get this information out to you, and it takes a little bit of time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go over these 4 different steps. And like I said, you can either grab a pen, come back here for the replay, or you know what, you can just listen, because this is very, 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 very important. And yes, I am confident in the things that I say and the things that I do and what I'm talking about and all that kind of stuff, because I have over 50,000 deletions over the past 4 years. So not only is my proof of concept totally legit, but I got the numbers to back it up. So does this work? Yes, but not if you are doing it the wrong way. So I just need to do one more thing, and then we are going to jump right into this. Okay, I think we are actually good. All right. Number 1, I didn't even put this on my board back here, but number 1, you are going to need to pull your credit report in the right place. That was another thing that was incorrectly done with the person I was speaking with earlier. And that's just sticking out in my mind, and that's why I'm using this as an example. So they were going and looking at all 3 websites. So Experian.com, Equifax.com, TransUnion.com. And I was like, well, hey, you know what? That's great. I mean, not great that you're spending all that money, but it's great that you went and you pulled your credit report, right? But based on my 12 years of doing this and, the 50,000 deletions I've gotten over the 4 years, it's my recommendation that you use something such as what? Smart Credit, or Identity IQ, or My Score IQ, or something that gives you access to all 3 bureaus consistently in one place every single round, right? Every 30 days or so, okay? And the reason is you're looking for very specific information, and you want it to be consistent, okay? So if it's not consistent, then you're not going to be able to utilize it in a factual dispute, because it's going to make no sense. Then, oh, well, I saw this over here, but over here it doesn't say that, so, I just need you to remove it. No, you don't want to do that. Number 1, pull your credit report in the right place. Number 2, what you're going to do is you are actually going to, now we're good. You are actually going to dispute with the bureaus first using a factual dispute. And if you don't know how to write a factual dispute, we're not going over that today. We do not have time, but I have 1,100 videos that do show you exactly how to do that, okay? So you're going to write a factual dispute. Number 2, you are going to also utilize the validation of debt process with both the creditors and the collectors. And a little bit of a caveat there. You're actually going to want to make sure that if you are disputing with let's just say the creditor, you want to make sure the actual data furniture, the original people like Capital One, so on and so forth, right? You want to make sure that you are being very, very, very careful when you're utilizing that process. If you don't know how to be careful, then please do not use this. That is a very, very, very strong warning, okay? Now, before we move any further, if you have negative items, you don't know what to do, then you can use that link right there on your screen to schedule a call with me personally, and I will see if I can do it for you, if I can fix your credit, if I can increase your credit score. And I will also let you know that it's 100% for sure that I will do it faster than you. Okay, so not saying anything, I'm just saying, hey, look, everyone has this time bunch and all that kind of stuff. And if you want to do it the right way and you want to have it done faster than you could ever do it, because this is what I do, use that link. All right, so you want to make sure that you are not disputing something that is within the statute of limitations for the actual original creditor, okay? So please keep that in mind. Now, with the with the collection agency, you have to use kind of common sense for this. Do not use this process with the debt buyer, okay? So we're doing this with third-party collectors. I mean, you can, but it's my warning not to, okay? So you're going to use this with accounts that are outside the statute of limitations with the original creditor. You're going to use this for third-party collections or debt buyer collections that are debt buyer collections outside the statute of limitations, and third-party collections that are within the statute of limitations, okay? You will want to be cognizant or keeping aware of the balance, though. So if it's like a $40,000 balance, I might want to stay away from that one. So step number one, dispute factually with the credit bureaus. And again, make sure that you stay, because I'm going to show you exactly how to utilize this to remove your negative items, okay? Step number two is send that validation of debt over to the data furnisher, whether that is the creditor or the collector. Now, if you don't know where to access the entire series, then you can actually get it, and I'm going to give you the link right now. It is going to be sendme2.co/VOD. This is the entire debt validation letter series. There's 4 letters to the data furnisher, and there's 4 letters to the bureaus, okay? Letters to the bureaus are not going to be factual. These letters are actually going to be the unknown series. And I will go over that a little bit later in a different live or video, just to kind of refresh your memory about it. But we're keeping this very, very, very simple and straightforward. So you're using the validation of debt with them. You're using factual with the bureaus. So there's going to be a total of 30 days in between your disputes. So you're going to do 30 days here. So you're sending out your letter to the bureaus, wait 30 days, and then you're going to send out, I'm going to give you 2 different methods for this. Send out your letter to, letter 1 VOD to the data furnisher, okay? Another way that you can do this is, there's actually 3 ways, but I don't want to confuse you. You can send these out about 4 days apart. So instead of waiting an additional 30 days, you can send out letters to either the data furnisher first or the bureaus first, and then 4 days later, send it out to the ones that you didn't send it to, all right? So now we are going to wait 30 days from the date that they received it. It's technically 31st day. So on that 31st day after they received it, you're going to go pull your credit report, and you're going to look on the account where it says comments. If it's not here where there's supposed to be comments, then it's a violation. When I say it's not, I'm talking about the notice of dispute. So the notice of dispute is a requirement for any of these accounts to be on here within 30 days. They have 30 days to enter it. If it's not entered, then now they're in violation FCRA 623 for the creditors and the bureaus, and the collector is going to be FDCPA 8078. They all have to put this on here. Okay, now a little bit of a tip is you may actually want to dispute with the collector first, because they are less likely to enter this required notice. However, I'm telling you, you can do it however you want to, sending out to the bureaus or the creditors first, because number one, they're already receiving way too many disputes, the bureaus. Number two, we're literally going into right now their busiest season. So they're going to ignore you anyways. They're not going to put it on there anyways. So if you want to dispute with the bureaus first, by all means, go ahead. But during the regular season, like non-holiday season, I would recommend disputing with the collector first, okay? So either the bureau or the data furnisher must enter that notice of dispute by the 31st day. Okay, it's technically 30, but you're going to get to that 31st day, pull a new credit report. If it's not there, now you're going to go and you're going to go to the next step, because now we have our violation. So there's a couple of things here. Number one, you are going to notify them that they did not enter this notice. You are going to screenshot the account. So this is a screenshot. It's going to show on the date. Make sure that it shows the date for the credit report that you disputed it and it was not here. Now make sure it shows the date. Here's another screenshot. Today's date, 31st day, whatever. It's going to show it's also missing here. However, they received, and this is where you're going to put that signed proof that they got the letter, right? Here's the proof that you received it. Here's the proof that I sent it. Here's the proof that it's not there. Now this is a violation, and if you don't remove it, now I have to go to the next step. The next step, okay, and this is either step number 4 or 5. The next step is actually, because you have a paper trail, because you have proof, and because now they're going to ignore you, and maybe if they do remove it, then great, you don't have to do this. But if they don't, now you know exactly what to do after this. Now you can go to the CFPB. Normally, I tell you, don't do this. Don't go to the CFPB until after you've exhausted all your remedies. And you can actually do a little bit more before you actually go to the CFPB. That's why there's 4 letters in that validation of debt letter series, right? Because otherwise it would just be 1 letter, okay? So you can either go through that entire series, or you can go to the CFPB on this step once you have this proof. It's totally and completely up to you. I would personally go through the entire series, and then if it's, if the account's still on there, they're in violation, they didn't send the proof, and they didn't put the notice of dispute, now you have even more proof of that violation, and you can use this to get it taken off, okay? Remember, the CFPB is a government agency, so do not dispute with them, or not dispute, but submit a complaint frivolously. And this is also why I disagree with some of that false rhetoric out there that you can just go straight to the CFPB. That is not what we do. You're actually supposed to exhaust your remedies with the original agency that you have an issue with prior to ever doing that. Go look it up. Go look up the administrative definition of exhaustion of remedies, and you're going to see that specifically with the courts, and this is all under the same umbrella, the laws, that you actually have to go through this process before going there. But this is the first time that you can actually go and do that. So this can be used, again, to remove collections, charge-offs, repos, late payments, bankruptcy, anything, as long as it's not inquiries or child support. Now, do I have a thing against child support? Absolutely not. No, I don't. But I personally don't dispute it. It takes about 3 years to remove it. The bureaus won't remove it, and the whoever the agency is, whether it's the county or whatever, they're not going to remove it either. So I just personally leave it alone. Now, if you learned something that you didn't know before, make sure to smash that like. If there's another thing, and I'm going to throw another link up here, you can actually get access to my biggest secrets that give you way more than just this by using that link right there, getmysecrets.ask-kristen.com. Okay. Another thing is, the biggest reason that we're going over this right now is very, very simple. Not only am I seeing so many consumers who are disputing the wrong way, but so many people who don't understand why these things are still on their credit report. Why am I disputing and they're not coming off? Why am I submitting these complaints and I'm being ignored? Why am I doing this and this is happening? Or, whatever it is. And the answer to this is because it's not easy. This is just not something that is given to you. It's not an obligation, to give these deletions to you. You know what I mean? Like, if you put, let's just say, 1,000 people in a room and they're all like, well, it doesn't matter that I didn't pay you on time. It doesn't matter that I was late. It doesn't matter because you wrote that I didn't pay you on a Sunday and in fact it was a Monday. None of those things matter. They are going to pay attention to the group of those 1,000 people who say, you know what? I'm not arguing whether I paid late or on time. I'm arguing nothing but the laws and the facts here. Those are the people that are going to be paid attention to, and those are also the people who are going to go through the process, do this the right way, and get the results. And those are also the people who are going to be the most patient. And speaking of patient, I was actually reading something the other day. It was actually 2 days ago, and it said that some of the characteristic difference between people who are either rich or wealthy and people who are not is their ability to be patient, right? And it has nothing to do with money and everything to do with mindset, right? We live in a microwave society. We want everything, like yesterday. I get it. I 100% understand. I've been there myself. I 100% get it. I'm telling you, I feel you on that, right? But that is not the way that we go about getting these deletions. These are things that we actually have to fight for. We have to argue for them. We have to prove that they don't belong on there, because otherwise they're going to stay on there. So my question to you is, do you want to do the wrong thing for 7 years and have them come off naturally, or do you want to do it the right way, go through the process, the secrets that I give you, the steps and the methods and all that kind of stuff, and have the actual ability to get them off? I personally would have to say, well, you know what, Kristen, you're absolutely right. There is no overnight process. Obviously, I probably wouldn't even be able to afford it if there were. And I do understand that there is a way to get negative items removed permanently. And if I do it this way, or a way that actually, is legitimate, then it gives me the best possible position to, remove them from my credit report. So I can go out and get my kids new shoes. I can go out and put new tires on my car because, winter time, right? Again, I showed you that we have mad snow outside and I see people going down the hill that don't even have all season tires. Like, I'm like, hey, why didn't you use your credit card for that? Oh, because you didn't have one, or because you maxed it out. I got it. That's another thing. Why wouldn't you go and remove your inquiries the right way? We're going into the holiday season. Don't you want to apply for things? Well, hey, you can't even apply for things if you have negative items on your credit report. Well, hey, why wouldn't you want the fastest way to remove them? Well, I just gave you one of those. Again, you can go and access this you can access the letters that go with this at sendme2.co/VOD. And I can feel the cold air coming through here. It's like, oh my God. Anyways, it gets a little bit cold in here. We got stone on the floor and it's I can't even talk right now, wood paneling, and this door is not sealed. So got mad cold air coming in. Anywho, I might have to actually start recording somewhere else or going live somewhere else. So, okay, look, another thing I wanted to tell you about. There's a lot of people who reach out to me and want to learn how to remove the negative items themselves without having to go and have someone do it for them, because that's just what they want to do. They want to learn how to do it. So I came up with my mentorship program. The charter membership is actually over because you had, 2 weeks to get in on that pricing, but the mentorship is still available. So if you want access to my entire course on how to remove negative items from your credit report, how to start and run and process credit sweeps as a business, and my entire dispute library and coaching directly from me where I do your dispute letter reviews and all of that, then you can use that link and go check that out. But we later, later we're going to be talking about how to specifically remove, I don't want to give too much away, but specifically remove, actually, I don't really know if I want to talk about it yet because it's a big thing. Okay, I may or may not. I don't know. We're going to be going live later, and I am going to give a big secret out there for you, because it's going to be able to help you remove your negative items before the beginning of the year. I started to say it and then I took it back, so I apologize. But yeah, all right. So let's get back to this. We're probably only going to be doing this, it'll be 22 minutes. So we're only going to do this for a couple more minutes. And then I have my calls and I have to go out there and shovel before my first client gets here. So when are you going to use this process? Well, you can start using this process today. When are you going to get results? You can get results as soon as you get that first violation, because you can actually fax it. You don't even have to wait to send it out in the mail. Faxing that transmission that you get, that transmission receipt, that can be held up in court as proof that it was sent and received. Okay, so just food for thought there. If you have access to the credit bureau fax numbers, then that may be something that you want to start doing. Not only is it going to save you money in postage, but it gets there significantly faster, and you can also get results in about 15 days versus 30 days, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, when shouldn't you use this? You should not use this, again, as I mentioned in the beginning, you should not use this for accounts that are still within the statute of limitations, that are debt buyer accounts, like Portfolio Recovery, Calvary, Second Round, or the original accounts like American Express, Capital One, Barclays, that are inside the statute of limitations, or that have extremely high balances, okay? Because I don't want you to put yourself in a position where now, just because you are aggressively disputing, you are getting, I don't want to say in trouble, but basically they're retaliating. And while retaliation is illegal, they do it all the time, all right? Now, one thing that we didn't go over, and I will give you just a short thing on it, is that first letter to the bureaus. It's not a method of verification because it's letter number 1. It is not a request for investigation. It's where you are telling them you need to delete these things because the date last paid is XYZ. The date last active is XYZ. The first day of delinquency shows XYZ. Whatever it is, that is a factual dispute. okay? And there's also very specific USC codes that you can use for privacy that are going to increase your ability to remove your negative items. If there were anything that I could add to this, and make sure to smash that like if you didn't know any of this or you enjoy my content, but you can actually dispute your personal information first, okay? So personal information can actually go first. So personal info. And I actually did go over how to dispute your personal information many times recently. So we are not going to go over that. So number one, personal information dispute. Number two, factual dispute. Number three, data furniture dispute. Number four, hit them with a violation. Number five, send out the proof of that violation. Number six, if it is still on there, now you're going to go to the CFPB. After you create your CFPB complaint either by mail or on their website, keep a copy of it, and you're going to send a copy of that over to the credit bureaus. You're also going to send a copy of it over to whoever the data furnisher is, whether it's a collector or it's creditor or whatever. Okay, the original creditor. Okay. That is it. I don't want to start rambling because that's just what I do. But if you want to get the fastest deletions, yes, this is one of the fastest ways, but even faster is me doing it for you. So if you want to see if this is something that I can do for you, use that link right there. It's right there, my740.com. Schedule a call with me. I will see if I can do this for you. If I can't, I will give you some sort of resource or I will point you in the right direction. But that is it for today. It started snowing again, so I have to go out there and get to shoveling because I have a client coming in 10 minutes. So I'll see you later. Have a great day. Again, smash that like, subscribe if you haven't done so that you too can remove your negative items. And I will see you later. Bye.